Damian Calhoun from Orange County Wrestler. Go ahead, Damian.
Hey, Jordan, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Any extra emotions when you got the call that you were coming into camp, and also seeing the guys yesterday and in your first training session today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a long year for myself personally, and lots of games watching on the TV and watching from the sidelines, and it was disappointing and frustrating, and to be back with this group is amazing. We have a great group of guys, a great staff, and just to see everyone again felt great.
Thank you.
Oh, are we good for a second? Or?
Yeah, go ahead, Damian.
Oh, yeah. Well, are you setting yourself any kind of goals for this camp for yourself, or you just want to get through it, get to the game, and just let the days of practice and the game take care of itself?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is about continuing to get that sharpness and fitness level back up, because I was just getting back when we got knocked out of the playoffs, and so I think this camp is a great opportunity to get back in with the group and continue to get my sharpness and my fitness levels back up heading into a big year next year.
Thank you.
Thanks, Damian. Next question goes to Larry Henry Jr. from SBI Soccer. Go ahead, Larry.
Thanks, Aaron, and thank you, Jordan, for the time. Just wanted to ask, obviously, a lot of new faces in camp this camp. Obviously, you were one of those players a while back. How excited are you to work with a lot of these guys that you've been able to kind of see over the last few years in MLS, the guys like Caden Clark, Cade Cowell, Cole Bassett, players like that? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, lots of really good young, talent here. A lot of new faces, but that's really exciting. I mean, it just shows the growth of the pool and the quality that's in this pool, and so we're really looking forward to working with some of the new players and getting to play alongside them, because it's always fun when you go against someone and then you get to come into camp and play with them and practice with them every day. So it's definitely exciting. There's a lot of great players, and I think it's going to be a really good camp.
Thank you, Larry. Next question then goes to Doug McIntyre from Fox Sports. Go ahead, Doug.
Thanks, Aaron. Hey, Jordan. Good to see you back on the field with the Sounders and with the national team. I'm sure in a perfect world you'd want to be preparing for MLS Cup this week. It's a pretty remarkable stat, Jordan. The last members have been in the final. As a proud son of the Pacific Northwest, what is it about?
Sorry, you cut out in the middle of your question. Can you start over?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Jordan, in a perfect world, I'm sure you'd want to be with the Sounders preparing for MLS Cup. But a remarkable stat, the Sounders and Timbers have been in 7 finals and, have been the West rep for 7 years in a row now. As a proud son of the Pacific Northwest, why do you think these two teams have been so competitive? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know. It's a great question. I think lots of really, really good players, obviously lots of quality on both teams. I think they both, us and the Timbers both have great coaching staffs as well. Amazing fan bases. I think if you look at teams in MLS, we are both in the upper echelon of those teams. And I think, we were talking about this the other day. I was talking to Christian a little bit, and we just, Portland and us, I think we're built for tournaments like that, where you see they went down and won the tournament in Orlando last year, and like you said, we've both been in the final the last 7 years now, one of us, and so I think that we're just built for things like that, for elimination games, for big moments. I think both teams have players that can produce big moments, and the opportunity or the moment isn't too big for either of the teams. So it's hard to, as a Sounders player, it's hard to see them in the final, obviously. But I think that stat is really impressive, and I think it just shows the strength of that rivalry and how much it means.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Doug. Before we go to Jeremiah Oshan from Sounders at Heart, if anyone has questions, please raise your virtual hand, and we'll go to Jeremiah. Go ahead.
Hey, Jordan. Obviously you've played mostly as a midfielder with the Sounders recently, but what position has Greg talked to you about playing with the national team, and how do you see yourself there?
Yeah, I haven't had too many conversations with him so far this camp. Obviously just got here yesterday, but both for the Sounders, for the national team, wherever I'm asked to play, I feel like I'd of course be happy to play, and I feel like I can bring my strengths into the game, whether that's up front or out wide. Obviously, with the Sounders, I was utilized a little bit of both when I came back this year, and I think with the national team, seeing a little bit more out wide. But I'm just so grateful and happy to be back on the field, and wherever I'm asked to play, I would of course roll with that. And again, I think I can use my strengths in both those positions.
Thank you, sir. Unless we have any other questions, the last one will go to Michael Lewis. Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you. Hey, Jordan, thanks for doing this.
No problem.
You talked about getting back into fitness. How far have you gone, and how far do you have to go to where you feel like you're going to be at optimal capacity?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think it's definitely still part of the process, and I think I'm only probably nine months out from my surgery now, and so was able to get back on the field a little bit earlier than what was maybe anticipated at first, which is great, but things are still going to be coming. I think in the game with the Sounders in the playoffs, I was able to get to 103 minutes, something like that. So I feel like the work that I put in, during my recovery definitely helped with the fitness side of things, and that my fitness is at a pretty good level. It's the sharpness and getting all that back, I think is the most important, and I think that's why it's awesome to be here, training in such a competitive environment, have a great game at the end of camp just to continue to build on that heading into a big year next year. So I think that kind of stuff will come. I'm feeling pretty good with it, but definitely understand that I have, more to go, and it's something that it's just an everyday process to keep working hard to try to get back to where I was before my injury and push even farther past that.
Thanks, Michael. We do have a couple more questions for Jordan. Let's go to Andy Diosa from Yahoo Sports. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey, Jordan, you kind of just mentioned it a little bit, but speaking about it being such a tough year, going from early on the injury, and then obviously you couldn't envision the way it bounced back. Just you personally, what did you go through being able to bounce back so quick? I don't want to say so quickly, but bounce back enough that, we're talking about the end of the year and you're here at USMNT camp, and it's just kind of remarkable that timeline there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember when I was going down to have my surgery, I flew to LA, had my surgery out here, and on the plane ride down, I was working on kind of my goal sheets for this year, next year, just trying to, bring some positivity into things. And part of my goal this year was to get back on the field before the season ended and get back into a national team camp, before next year. And so I'm throughout all my recovery, everything, I'd go back to those and say that this was my goal. And I just worked really, tried to work really, really hard, and had a great support staff and my teammates and everyone, my family, everyone that supported me to get to this moment. Obviously I'm very thankful, but I just set that goal at the beginning of the year that was what I was going to do. And every day was kind of a competition to get to that point.
Excellent. I think the real last question goes to Ari Lewinwall from MLS Soccer. Sorry, Ari, if I pronounced your name incorrectly.
Oh, no, you got it. Hey, Jordan, what's been your take watching the team so far during World Cup qualifying and where you guys are at second on the octagonal table? And what's kind of your mentality as for what you could potentially add to where you guys are?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been great. Obviously, sitting in a really, really good position, and every single game in World Cup qualifying is really difficult. And I think the team has done so well in some difficult environments to get really good results. So I think everyone is obviously really happy with where we're sitting at the moment, and some of the games and the results that we were able to get last year. It's been great, and obviously wasn't part of those camps, but watching from afar, it was really, obviously difficult and wishing I could potentially be out there playing, but it was awesome to see, the team get some great results. And then for me, again, it's just trying to, like I said, get back to my best and try to get back part of that group. That was a big goal of mine also throughout my rehab, was get back part of the national team. That was, the main goal is to recover, get back to my best as quickly as possible, and try and get back in with this group, because that just means everything. So I think for me, it's just doing what I normally do, trying to stretch teams, get in behind, use my speed to unbalance teams and stretch things a bit. I think could bring that, but I'm just grateful to be back in this camp and looking forward to continuing to work.